Hello everyone, welcome to EduHunt video lecture series. We are going to discuss about remaining classes of Gnathostomata. We have seen that Craniata is divided into Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha are the jawless vertebrates and Gnathostomata in which the vertebrates with the jaws were included. Let's see just a recap of the previous session, that is, vertebrata is further divided into two groups, as I said, Agnatha, which are jawless animals or jawless vertebrates, and second is Gnathostomata, in which the vertebrates with jaws were present, were included in that group. Again, if you see Agnatha, it is classified into further classes: Ostracodermi, Cyclostomata. In Ostracodermi, we have seen that armored fish, especially all the animals of this group were extinct. So only fossils extinct, these were extinct animals. Under Ostracodermi, animals are extinct, and this is the first vertebrate group, and these were appeared in Ordovician period. As I mentioned in the previous session, that the geological time scale is divided into so many eras, periods like that. Under that, Ordovician is a period in which these first vertebrates appeared and they were extinct also. Now they are not available. Agnatha were not available. Especially the Ostracodermi animals were not present now. And the Cyclostomata, they have a circular mouth and 6 to 14 pairs of gill slits. All the general characters we have discussed, and the examples are also Petromyzon lamprey, it is also called. It has Ammocetus larva and Myxine, commonly called hagfish. All these things we have finished. And in second group, that is Gnathostomata, in which the jawed vertebrates are further classified into two super classes. One is Pisces and the second one is Tetrapoda. Pisces are nothing but fish included. Fish were grouped in this super class. Members that do not have the pentadactyl appendages, like we have pentadactyl, each limb has 5 fingers or 5 toes, but that kind of limbs are absent and they are all aquatic. Example, fish. And super class 2 is Tetrapoda. It starts from amphibians, and then amphibia, class Amphibia, Reptilia, aves and mammals come under this category, under this super class. Anyway, let's see the super class. Pisces is again divided into, superclass Pisces is again divided into 3 classes, that is three classes, that is class Placodermy, second class Ostracodermy, Chondrichthyes, and the third class is Osteichthyes. So these are the three classes which were included in superclass Pisces. The superclass Pisces is divided into Placodermy, Chondrichthyes, and Osteichthyes. Placodermy, in this group, extinct forms were there, and armored jawed fish with fused bony scales, and all were extinct. This is an extinct class. Extinct class of the superclass Pisces is Placodermy. Placodermy. And the scales, fused scales, dermy means skin. Placodermy, fused scales are present over the skin. And class Ostracodermy, second class is Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes, the subclasses elasmobranch fish and holocephali are the two subclasses of the class Chondrichthyes. Elasmobranch fishes are nothing but soft bones like cartilaginous fishes were included in elasmobranchi. The third class is Osteichthyes, where also known as teleostomy, and where bony fishes were included, bony fish. And class Chondrichthyes, it is the picture or the table showing differences between Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, that is teleostomy, teleosti. And cartilaginous fish included in Chondrichthyes. The bones are soft. And in Osteichthyes, bony fish were included. Bony fish were included in Osteichthyes. Whereas in Chondrichthyes, cartilaginous fish, that is endoskeleton is soft, cartilaginous. Like cartilage in our body, where is the cartilage present? It is present in the tip of the nose. Yes, it is very soft bone. And even the pinna, external ear, also has the soft bone. We cannot bend the bone, but in the external ear we have a bone which can be bent. Yes, this is the bone pinna. It is called, the external ear is called pinna, and it is supported by a small and soft bone called cartilage. In the same way, cartilaginous endoskeleton is present in cartilaginous fish or the group, that is class Chondrichthyes. In class Osteichthyes, bony fish are present, and the Chondrichthyes members are marine, mostly marine. 90% of the Chondrichthyes fish are marine only, but in Osteichthyes, some of the fish are freshwater and others are marine forms. Total of 5% of all fish represent this class, that is Chondrichthyes, up to 5%. If you take the fish population into 100%, in that population, 5% of the population belongs to this Chondrichthyes class, that is cartilaginous fish, and remaining 95% of the fish population has this type of Osteichthyes, that is bony fish. And placoid scales are present over the skin. Here, cycloid, ganoid or ctenoid scales are present. Placoid scales, because of the presence of placoid scales only, these are called as placodermy. Placoid scales present on the skin. Dermy is skin. So, on the skin, the exoskeleton is in the form of scales, and the scales are of placoid type. And in this case, in In Osteichthyes, the scales may be ctenoid, ganoid or cycloid scales. I'll show you different scales here. Which is very clear. I'm searching for the, yes, this might be clear picture. I'm taking it from Google source. Yes, if you see this, these are the placoid scales which are flat in nature. These are ganoid scales, cycloid scales where you can see number of concentric rings in that. Ctenoid scales are like this. So these are the different types of scales present in various fish. And placoid scales are exclusively present in placodermi called they were extinct, and even chondrichthyes also have this kind of placoid scales on the skin, and remaining fish, that is Osteichthyes, the fish of Osteichthyes, they have ganoid, cycloid and ctenoid scales. Mouth is ventral here like this. If you differentiate the body into dorsal and ventral side, ventrally situated mouth is present, but in this the mouth is terminal, that is at the tip of the body. Here it is the mouth. But in case of chondrichthyes, the mouth is ventrally situated. And gill slits are 5 pairs, and here these are 4 pairs. Operculum or gill cover is absent here, it is hard, and operculum is present. These are the differentiating features of chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. And even tail is heterocele, that is tail, the lobes. If you see, this is the, imagine that this is a fish tail like this. The tail will be, the lobes, the 2 lobes are unequal in size, whereas in Osteichthyes, the tail lobes are equal and tail is said to be homocele, whereas in chondrichthyes the tail is heterocele, that is the lobes are unequal. In Osteichthyes the lobes are like this, like this. Both the lobes are equal in size. Okay. Pelvic fins are present in male. They form the claspers. Claspers, they help in transfer of sperm during copulation into the female body. So these are unisexual, male and female are different, and the claspers, they are the modification of the pelvic fins. Pelvic fins are modified into claspers and they help in transfer of male gametes, that is sperm, into female body for fertilization. And claspers are absent in Osteichthyes, that is bony fish. Among largest fish, these are, the body size is largest, average to small sized body fish are present in Osteichthyes, and scroll valve is present in intestine, whereas in Osteichthyes the scroll valve, that is a special feature of the the subclass chondrichthyes is absent in Osteichthyes. Air bladder is absent, whereas air bladder is seen in Osteichthyes, some of the osteichthyes fish like lungfish, air bladder or swim bladder is present, and it is meant for buoyancy, that is balancing, and also for respiration. Let's see chondrichthyes, that is bony cartilaginous fish. Cartilaginous fish. Examples are shark, Scoliodon, commonly called dogfish. Dogfish, it is a viviparous. Actually, fish lay eggs, but sharks, Scoliodon, it is a viviparous one. It gives birth to young ones. And with high smelling power, it has. And Pisces, it is commonly called sawfish. And chimera, king of herrings or ratfish, it is commonly called. And presence of operculum make them special, because operculum is absent in this chondrichthyes, but the fish with operculum is a chimera, also called as king of herrings or ratfish, which has an operculum. And rays, trigon, it is commonly called stingray. Torpedo, electric ray. Rays and skates like raja are present in chondrichthyes. In osteichthyes, Latimeria chalumnae, that is Latimer coelacanth fish, it is called, and it is considered as a living fossil, because for a long time it was not identified, and this was identified by Latimer, a scientist, and he, in the name of him, it was named as Latimeria chalumnae. It is a fleshy lobed finned fish. It belongs to group Crossopterygii, and it is considered as a living fossil. It is an ancient fish and considered to be a connecting link between fish and amphibian. It is considered as a connecting link between fish and amphibian. And hippocampus, commonly called seahorse, and shows parental care. Exocetus, it is commonly called that is flying fish. Anabas, climbing perch, and due to accessory respiratory structures, it can survive even outside the water for several days. In Echinus or remora, it is sucker fish, and Gambusia affinis, minnow, it is a larva feeder, and I'll show you the pictures of each one of this example, and some of the examples were here given. I'll show you detailed pictures in the next session. This is the class about classification of the group Pisces, and the superclass Pisces is again divided into Placodermi, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Placodermi, in which extinct fish were included. In Chondrichthyes, elasmobranch fish, or commonly called the cartilaginous fish, were included. And in Osteichthyes, bony fish were there, and there are some differences between the Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. We have seen mostly 10 to 12 differentiating features between these two, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. In the next session, we'll be going to learn some examples of the two classes, that is Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Goodbye.